This is Margaret Ann Windsor. The name I have to use is Peggy Ann Dempsey. I'm married at Childers. I was kidnapped in 41 at age 2 and brought to Moulton, Alabama, given the name of a twin that was murdered a week or 2 weeks before they dropped me off there. So this was all planned. The other twin, Carl, was killed about a month after he was born. They were born to Lina Dempsey and born out of wedlock. And she would have faced the gas chamber and all this. And plus, when I found out about my kidnapping in late '83, I remembered they were also supposed to have collected money for keeping me there and abusing the hell out of me every moment of my life. Um, what was I going to put up? Elizabeth is illegal. Her father, George VI, I put this up so much, and I usually put supportive documents and evidence, but it's up there on Facebook and YouTube for years back now, if you care to look. I ran in a political campaign and wrote about mind control murders before I found out about my kidnapping. But anyway, Larry Flint was one of those that had a programmed shooter that shot and paralyzed him from the neck down. And his attorney was killed, and the judge in it was pretty much worked over. I was going into this, though. Uncle George, the illegal six, was installed in 37 after they took King Edward VIII, my father, down with character assassination. He was married to Claudia Ruth O'Keefe from Madison, Wisconsin. She was queen then. There was an addendum that if my father had an heir, the heir would inherit. The day I was born, in 39, I was born Victoria II, legal heir to the British crown. So George is illegal. He became king when the imposter married Wallace Simpson. That's not my father. There was more than one impersonator or imposter or double. And the title Duke and Duchess of Windsor is illegal. He died in 72. The imposter, or one of them did, that's buried at Windsor, Frogmore. And my father and mother were still married in October of 1986. Elizabeth, my Uncle George, I hate to say that, the illegal George VI, who helped take down his own brother with the Illuminati, Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Bilderbergers, they're your head of your banks, too, your global banking, which is the Illuminati. They're the ones that took down my father with lies and character assassination while he was married to my mom, and then had him marrying Wallace Simpson. They deleted my mom, so to speak. Winston Churchill burned the Windsor files. He was part of going along with the Roosevelts, Rockefellers, my Uncle George. Uncle George was my father taken down, and he was given the title by the Illuminati, which is illegal, your global world government. And because he would go along with them, my father wouldn't take orders from them. My father had integrity, so they took him down. Kennedy's Joe Kennedy was appointed ambassador to England in 36 till they kicked him out in 46 by U.S. President Roosevelt. So you talk about interfering in another country's politics. It's sick. You kidnap the monarch, take down my father, the monarch, have him married to a woman he didn't marry, a double did, deleting my mother, who was an American, George O'Keefe, the artist's sister. And then you bring me over here and put me in a living hell along with my sons, who are heirs after me. So where am I going with this? I keep hoping that the truth's going to be told. The press is controlled by the Illuminati. But last night, I know that some Brits never forgot me, okay? Elizabeth does not represent the UK. She's illegal to begin with. She's a war criminal and should be locked up, and that whole lineage is illegal. Her father was illegal, sold out his own brother, and kidnapped the real monarch, me, which is his niece. Now, she is a high-ranking member of the Illuminati. You're a globalist, you're global government. Now, that was able to take place after they took my father down. He wouldn't sign the treaties to allow the United States to invade the UK, which when George took over their illegal treaties, but the United States came in under the guise of being friends. They've taken over and made Great Britain fight against its own best interests, pretended to be its friends. Look at what's happened to the UK, to the Brits. Everything now has been infiltrated. Look at Australia, not MK Ultra. Area 51 is even down there. The United States installed it, for God's sake, in Australia and other military bases. The U.S. military bases is all over everything. Quite the joke to get away with what they've done. But what I'm getting to, Elizabeth and her father in that lineage are way up in the Illuminati. They take orders from the Illuminati. That's the reason they were installed. I'm the real monarch. And hell no, I'm not a part of that. I want them punished. And only God can do it. I realize that now. I was watching C-SPAN last night. I guess I turned it on at the right time. It was British, the UK, English, well, Brits, Wales and Scotland is, they're part of the UK also, but they were having a meeting, and they were talking about they weren't globalists. They didn't want to be part of the global government, which is the Illuminati that kidnapped me and took down my father. That's the reason they departed the European Union. I have a strange feeling that the Germans, if they know the truth, the ones that's left, they've been so invaded, their culture taken away. I know the Germans help protect me too. It's unfair what's been done to them. And the plain as day, the Brits last night said they weren't for globalism. The world global government, which took place after my dad was taken down, my kidnapping. That's when my relatives, same as their kin to Elizabeth, are king and queens in Sweden, Denmark, Netherlands, etc. Norway. When they invaded the UK, the United States, and part of Winston Churchill burned the Windsor Files, so you had part of some people in Great Britain other than my uncle that was a part of the takedown of my country. And to say they represent it, Elizabeth is a high-ranking member there of the global government. So last night, I'm going to quit. You can follow it. I've put it all up here over and over again. But I'm the legal heir, and I am not for the people who took down my country, who took down my father, and responsible for doing this to me. No, I'm not for the global government. I'm not for the Illuminati, and it's under the guise of the United Nations, which came about because of illegal treaties, take down my father, kidnapping me, and installing George VI, who's illegal, thus Elizabeth, and it's all illegal. But you got to get it before a court of law that's not done in the Netherlands, where the war crimes tribunal is, because you got Henry Kissinger, all of them are a part of it. That's the reason they put it there. So anyway, I hope that I get back what's mine. You can't ever undo this, but I hope to go home to the UK, to the Brits, and help repay. I know a lot of people are so enthralled and mesmerized by Elizabeth and her flaunting money and power that's not even hers. She's a criminal. You can be blinded by it. I hope they see the truth, and I hope I get to come home and at least attempt to make things better and make things right. And it won't be with a global government that kidnapped me and did all these crimes. You gotta be kidding.